Am I audible?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone present here. So let's start the plenary session by a resource person, and I'm here to welcome Mrs. Devalakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of EFL, to introduce the guest to us. Welcome, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone present here. So let's start the plenary session by a resource person, and I'm here to welcome Mrs. Devalakshmi, Assistant Professor of EFL, to introduce the guest to us. Welcome, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to introduce our resource person for the plenary session 3, Dr. Mahendran, Associate Professor from the Faculty of Languages and Communication at University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, Tanjung Malim, Perak, Malaysia. With a specialization in applied linguistics, teacher education, research methodology, literature and translation.
Hello. Hello. Hi, Dr. Sumati. I don't see you in the picture anymore. Hello. I don't see you, ma'am, in the connection loss or what? Hello. No, I don't see you. I don't hear anything.
Sir, am I audible?
Now you're audible. Now
Yes, sir.
you're audible.
I take immense pleasure to welcome our resource person for the plenary session 3, Dr. Mahendran, Associate Professor from the Faculty of Languages and Communication at University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, UPSI, Tanjung Malim, Perak, Malaysia. With a specialization in applied linguistics, Teacher Education, Research Methodology, and Literature and Translation, Dr. Mahendran has made a significant impact in this field. Dr. Mahendran has an impressive academic record with 93 scholarly publications to his name, showcasing his extensive research contributions to applied linguistics and related fields. He has demonstrated exceptional mentorship capabilities, having successfully guided 23 PhD students and numerous master's candidates to the completion of their academic journeys. Additionally, he has supervised 14 research projects, reflecting his commitment to fostering scholarly excellence and advancing educational methodologies. Sir has earned 8 prestigious awards, to name a few: Global Iconic Research Supervisor Award, Eminent International Scholar Award, and so on. His contributions have also been nationally recognized with honors like Best Picture Book Writer in the year 2023. Additionally, he received certificates of appreciation from Malta in the year 2011 and KPPM Dato ABD Ghaffar bin Muhammad in the year 2011. Dr. Mahendran's dedication to the field is evident in his ongoing efforts to bridge theoretical research with practical application, aiming to improve language education both within Malaysia and internationally. So we welcome you for the session, sir. The session is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible? Is it clear? Can someone answer if my voice is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Right. Again, I think it's 2 p.m. in India, so it's about 4:30 here. So first of all, I would like to congratulate university for organizing this seminar, this conference, and I've been there. To the admin, there are people waiting, to enter. Should I admit them or you? I'm to the admin. Please check, because there are people requesting.
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah.
Can you check whether you have muted yourself?
No, I'm not
because
mute.
your voice is not audible to us.
Not audible.
No, sir. You are audible, sir. I can
Now
hear
is it
you.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Audible, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If my voice is not clear, kindly let me know so that I can adjust here. Maybe something wrong with this
Yes.
cable.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. All right. Right. So
System.
okay. I continue. Yeah. So with that note, I would like to. I could hear some
Yes, sir,
background
all right.
voice. Yeah. I think the others.
You can begin the session, sir.
Yeah. The others, please mute your mic so that I don't hear anything, so it will be easy for me to continue. Yeah? Right. Dr. Sumati, if you are there, I think there are people requesting to be admitted. So I don't know, because the message is coming here on my screen. All right. So without further ado, I think I better start. I am Dr. Mahendran Maniam, an associate professor in Sultan Idris Education University from Tanjung Malin, Malaysia. And I've been in the industry for more than 30 years. So I'm happy to share some of my knowledge here. Yeah. So first of all, we will start with how to balance technology and human values in learning. So I'm going to share my slides, my PPT. If it is clear, you let me know. Yeah. Okay. Can someone give me a yes saying that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is
clear?
visible.
Yeah. Okay. Visible.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I start with this note, yeah, balancing technology and human values in learning. Now it's quite difficult to run away, yeah, from. Let me bring this to down. Right. It's quite difficult to say no to technology nowadays because without technology we cannot teach and we cannot learn. Yeah. After 30 years in teaching in various universities. So I realized that balancing technology and human values in learning involves integrating digital tools, yeah, to enhance educational experiences while preserving the core humanistic principles, yeah. So when I started teaching long ago, we did not have all these facilities, yeah. But nowadays, I see that you cannot do teaching without technology. Somehow technology has to come in. So personalized learning is key, yeah, where technology caters to individual student needs and learning style. This is according to Chow. He says that with the help of all these technology, yeah, balancing technology with human values, it helps the students to learn better because it is like a personalized learning, yeah, for the student. Yeah? So therefore, teaching and learning becomes easier. Now, critical thinking, empathy, and ethical considerations are essential to ensure technology does not overshadow the development of crucial human skills. Now, to those who are listening to me, 30 years ago, I used to tell my students, yeah, so there's no way humans can replace teachers, yeah. So now I have to swallow my statement because it's quite difficult, yeah, to avoid artificial intelligence. Therefore, I see that in the near future, robots will be teaching in the classrooms. Earlier, I told them even this technology has been there for many years, but for the past 5-6 years, but it's quite difficult for the robots, yeah, to identify, yeah, the sympathy and the empathy and the emotions of students. But now with AI, almost all machines can identify the emotions of learners. So therefore, educators must be discerning about when and how to incorporate technology, ensuring it supports rather than replace human elements in teaching and learning. This is by Howard and Jake Koo, right, in 2015. For me, for teachers and learners, you must understand that you can incorporate technology and ensure it is supposed to support learning, yeah, not to replace human elements, yeah, in teaching and learning. So please take note, it's a very important point by Howard and Zeko, yeah, 2015. Say that you can use technology, incorporate technology, but ensure it supports, yeah, rather than replacing human elements, yeah. Now, these are some of the AI lesson plan generators, which this one you can read by yourself later when I share the slides with the organizers. We have ChatGPT is just one of them. We have Auto Classmate. We have so many other things. Yeah, AI question paper generator. We have generative AI assessment. If you need to prepare a test paper, a quiz, you have all these apps. We have Smart Sparrow. We have A artificial intelligence voice assessment. We have Coursera. We have Aquarium, and all these. I don't have to mention all these things, but if you have the time, please go through my slides with your lecturers later, because I'm given only 30 minutes, yeah, to present my data. Yeah. So you have Duolingo, this is language learning app. We have Kaltura, which is a video-based learning platform, and so on. Yeah. So there are 31 AI tools that you can use. So people like me who started teaching long ago, 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago, without all this technology, now I'm finding it very difficult to cope with all these technology, because some students, the Y generation, the Z generation, all of you are much more IT savvy, so you know a lot how to use these apps. So people in my era, we find it quite difficult, to follow all these things. So, to be a good teacher, to be a good learner, that's what I said earlier. You can use this to support your teaching and learning, but do not replace, human values with these apps. So you can see DocuExpert, Edmodo, AI admission interview, Turnitin, plagiarism, detective software. The popular app that I use, AI app that I use in my university is, of course, Turnitin, because I see a lot of cheating taking place among students, among students. So I have to use Turnitin to detect, students' plagiarism level or similarity index. So I find that Turnitin is very useful for me to detect students' plagiarism level. But at the same time, whenever I use Turnitin, I also notice that now there are many other apps that can actually humanize your AI work. So there are many students coming out with very clean similarity index when I run Turnitin, because they use humanizer, which will humanize the AI assisted work. So sometimes it's quite difficult. I do not know where it is going to go from here, but for me, if you ask me, I'm sure many students there like to ask me whether is it okay to use AI in your assignments and so on. If you ask me, I would say yes. Yes. In other countries, from what I see in other countries, for example, New Zealand, I've seen some journal article done in New Zealand by prominent scholars. They also use all these apps to produce their journal articles. But of course, towards the end of your research, you must acknowledge, or you must give a statement there saying that you used ChatGPT to do the write-up, so you acknowledge by saying that the writing was done with the assistance of ChatGPT, but the data is yours. The data is yours, so you are safe. But in some countries, they do not allow. For my master and PhD students, when I check the similarity index using Turnitin, now there are two readings. One will be similarity index, and one will be AI, to detect AI. So if the similarity index is below 20, I accept. But if the AI assisted article, sometimes I see it is up to 60 or 70, which is quite difficult to avoid nowadays, because of somehow, somewhere along the line, we are using some kind of apps, AI apps, to produce our article. So it's quite difficult to say no to ChatGPT, because I myself, I allow my students nowadays to use ChatGPT, but they must acknowledge that they have used AI to do the write-up. But the content, the data must come from the student, right? These are some of other apps that you can also use. I'm introducing all these things to you. The latest one that I tried is Rightly, Rewritey, I think, Rewritey AI. Okay, that actually you can safely create an article data using ChatGPT, and then you can use Rewritey AI to humanize that article and turn it in does not detect that. So there are many ways students can cheat, but since it's quite difficult for us to avoid using all these things, my suggestion is you use, but you acknowledge, say that at the bottom of your work that you have used all these things in order to produce, but the data must come from you. Yeah. All right. Let's see slide 8. Balancing technology and human values in learning. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I have this thing blocking my slide because there are many people who want to enter the room, but the message is coming here and blocking. I think that means if you can stop that from appearing from my page on my page, or you quickly allow them to come in so that it doesn't block my screen. Yeah. Okay, balancing technology and human values in learning. Balanced integration of technology can lead to a more holistic education system, preparing students for a technologically advanced world while maintaining their humanity. Okay, this is by Williamson and 2020. Yeah, so this approach fosters a learning environment that values collaboration and social interaction, which are vital for cognitive and social development. Research shows that this equilibrium is essential for developing well-rounded individuals who can thrive in both digital and real-world environments. As I said earlier, previous studies and many other scholars from many other countries also, they admit that you cannot stop your students, stop learners, stop learning and teaching and learning from using AI, but it must be balanced. Yeah, my advice is it must be balanced, because technology and human values in learning is a crucial topic with very diverse viewpoints. Even according to Harvard's Tech and Human Values Initiative, the integration of artificial intelligence in education, they say it should be approached with the emphasis on ethical consideration. So ethical consideration is very important. This is actually to ensure that technological advancements support and enhance humanistic values rather than overshadow them. So if there's no humanistic values in your work, in teaching and learning, then it will be like entirely hijacked by artificial intelligence. So if you want it to be balanced, you must also know how to enhance humanistic values rather than overshadowing them. This will actually, how shall I put it? This will actually fostering. How do you do it? Some of the teachers or lecturers might want to ask me. I'm not a very IT person, but I'm a language teacher, I'm an educationist. So for me, if you want human values to be collaborated, then you must foster critical thinking, empathy, and ethical decision making among students. So even in the World Economic Forum that I read, it highlights the importance of balancing its potential in personalizing education with the need to preserve human connections and social skills in learning process. Yeah. So please take note, a very important point. Maybe I do not know people who are there in the room or online listening to me. Please take note. If you do not know how to balance human values with AI's potential, then it's going to be difficult. Teaching and learning is going to be completely hijacked by artificial intelligence. Next. Okay. This is from the one of the newspapers in Malaysia. Yeah? So according to paper, according to the research, they say that personalized learning is very important because they say tech skills are in high demand, but it is equally crucial for job seekers to embrace the unique advantages of learning. Yeah, these human advantages include effective communication, understanding other cultures, and teamwork. That's why in the universities nowadays, because most of the work is done by AI with the assistance of AI. So there's always a question in a meeting that I attended recently. They were asking, so what are the lecturers supposed to do in the classroom if everything is AI assisted? So we also came to a conclusion. Skills in demand you should emphasize on collaborative mindsets, teamwork. So these are the things that you should pay attention in university. Yeah? Teamwork, communication skills, emotional intelligence, EQ, and empathy. So in the age of AI, generative AI, it is these qualities that set humans apart from machines, which these are the qualities that you do not see in machines. So this is what we should inculcate in the universities so that we can produce students or learners who are equally all-rounded, both in the digital era and also they also have the human values. Like Prof. Kong highlights the importance of universities helping students cultivate and demand human skills amidst technological disruptions. Yeah. So please take note. Do not depend so much on artificial intelligence, especially students in the universities. If you are going to use ChatGPT, you must be sincere to yourself. You do not ask the ChatGPT to generate the entire work for you. It's how you feed. You should learn and you should feed ChatGPT with the proper information so that it gives you the right data information. Yeah. Now we are slide 10. And just to sum up, because I don't have too much time, and just to sum up this slide 10, actually AI-powered adaptive learning platforms. AI-powered adaptive learning platforms used advanced algorithms to create personalized learning experiences for students. These platforms continuously assess a student's performance and adjust the content and difficulty level accordingly. This ensures that each student receives the support they need, tailored to their individual learning pace and style. Yeah. So this is just to sum up. Go to the next one. This is also from news channel. Cannot see the slides properly. So this is also from the Star. The Star is a very popular Malaysian newspaper. So sometimes contribute to this paper. So to sum up this, I say that it is actually tailored instruction is very important to customize educational content to meet the unique needs of each learner. Yeah. So people are often hired for their hard skills, but stay and grow because of their soft skills. Okay. So if you are going to come out from the university with lots of knowledge using artificial intelligence, then what are you going to learn in the university environment? For me, the answer is soft skills. Soft skills are very important in the university life, in the school life. If you are going to use AI to help you to do your assignments, your work, then in the school environment, teachers and lecturers should actually pay more attention on their soft skills of their learners. Okay, to cut short, I would say that internships are crucial for learning soft skills, with employers expecting interns to be proactive and eager to learn. Yeah. So please pay attention on this, the soft skills. To sum up this, okay, this is slide number 12. Yeah. So this is actually integrating AI in education while preserving human values, exploring strategies for integrating AI in education while preserving human values ensures a balanced and effective learning environment. Yeah. So leverage of artificial intelligence for personalized learning to provide tailored education experiences, promoting inclusivity and engagement. This is by Holmes, 2019. Utilize AI for administrative tasks and data analysis, allowing educators to focus on critical thinking, empathy, and ethical decision making. Yeah. So to the organizers of conferences, the university, if lecturers are here, I would suggest that if you are going to invite speakers for conferences, I would prefer, I suggest that you prefer you choose speakers who have experience, because with AI, anyone can come and give a talk in the university, But the most important thing is good speaker is a speaker who knows how to use AI and match AI with his experience so that you can actually focus on critical thinking, empathy, and ethical decision making. So to implement ethical guidelines and frameworks, you need this both, experience and also you must also be digital, IT savvy. Yeah. Let me go to the next slides. I think I've already spoken about all these things. I think the slide is not consistent. It's like running from one to another page. So I just go to the one that I want to talk. These are all interactive and gamified learning experiences which you can introduce in your classroom. Let me go to next page. Okay, AI-driven tools for real-time feedback and support. Yeah. So actually, it offers real-time feedback and support to students. So the purpose of AI-driven tools, will be to offer real-time feedback and support. You can allow your students, to use AI just to calculate data. Maybe if you are using SPSS to do a t-test or to do a write-up on a t-test or ANOVA or MANOVA, whatever SPSS analysis you are doing, to do that kind of write-up, you can actually use AI-driven tools. But to do a complete write-up using AI is total no. If you ask me, I do not allow that to happen. So you can use it to deliver personalized learning resources and recommendations. You can also use AI-driven tools to address weaknesses and build on strengths with timely and targeted support. For examples include AI-powered tutoring systems. Very good. You can use it to support educators. AI as an assistant, not a replacement. This is a very powerful statement. It's a very powerful statement. AI as an assistant and not a replacement. Automating administrative tasks to free up time for teaching. Yeah, this is good. If you want to prepare a quiz for your students, to teachers, and to students, if you are here, if you want to use it to create question paper, to create a mock paper for your exam, is okay. You can actually ask ChatGPT, for example, the students here, I don't know, I think UG and PG master students, even if they are PhD students here, you can use AI to do a dummy or a mock presentation. You can actually assess your competence, your competence by using artificial intelligence. Yeah, data-driven insights for informed instruction and intervention. Next one, AI as an assistant. AI aids educators, not replacing. Yeah, helps with routine tasks, allowing focus on student relationship and critical thinking. Preserves human qualities essential for teaching, like empathy and creativity. So students, teachers, instructors who are here, if you are giving take-home assignment to your students, make sure you give them assignment questions that can actually allow them to do critical thinking, to think critically before they answer the assignment questions. Do not give lower order thinking skills to them. Give them something that are related to higher order thinking skills, so that they won't be too much depending on artificial intelligence, AI. Okay, automating administrative tasks to free up time. Yes, I think I've already read this. This one. Okay, ethical considerations in AI education. Algorithmic bias. AI can unintentionally reinforce existing inequalities. This is by Beans, 2018. Ethical guidelines ensure transparency, fairness, and accountability when you're using AI, because if you're using AI, you can also manipulate for the researchers. If any master or PhD students in this class, in my lecture now, do not use it to manipulate your data in favor to answer your research questions. Yeah, I've taught students doing this to use ChatGPT to manipulate the data, which is highly unethical to do that. Okay, take into consideration also the privacy concerns, protect personal data to maintain trust, be a responsible user, use it to promote digital literacy and critical thinking. Yeah? So digital literacy, use digital tools effectively. This is by 2012. In terms of critical thinking, analyze and evaluate information systematically. In terms of curriculum integration, teach both skills to discern credible sources and solve complex problems. Empower students, enable informed decision making and responsible technology use. Okay, and also these are the 7 famous AI tools. I'm not going to read each and every one, but if you want to use these, they are quite expensive also. Even the ChatGPT and what I told just now, if you want to use rewriting, you cannot use the free version because you have to pay big money. I think like monthly is about USD 30. The one that I am subscribing is about USD 30 a month, which is about 3 to 4,000 your Indian rupees. So if you want to use Canva, Magic Write, QReport, all these famous tools, you have to buy them. Yeah. Wheezy, Slightsy, Go. Some are free, some you have to pay. Yeah. So you can go through all the title of the apps that you can use. But all this you have to pay. Yeah. If they give you free, it will be with many limitations. When you want to go higher level, you have to pay. Yeah. Vision for a future where AI enhances, not replaces human teaching. Harmonious integration. AI augments, not replaces educators. AI assistance handles administrative tasks, analyze performance data, and provides personalized learning. Yeah. So focus areas for educators will be free educators to foster critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence, core human elements, ensure empathy and mentorship. Vision for a future where AI enhances. You can also enhance instruction AI allows for more tailored support, engaging environments. It also balanced development, prepares students for technology and human complexities. You can also consider holistic approaches whereby balances technical skills with human values. Yeah, this is by Holmes 2019. Okay, last week, just 2 weeks ago, I was in a university in Singapore, Nanyang Tech, and you can see that this whole classroom, this was just taken 2 weeks ago. Yeah, taken by me. Yeah, it's not taken from online sources. I snapped this photo just to show to you 2 weeks ago when I was in Singapore. You see how the students in Nanyang Tech, how much they are involved and engrossed in IT. Help them learn. This is one of the top universities in the world, not in Asia or ASEAN, but in the world. And you can see that a sample classroom that I entered and I took this photo. Yeah. These are some of the AI tools for teachers. I think some of the lecturers are very familiar with this, especially like Canva, ChatGPT, Magic School, and so on. Quick teaching, all these are quite familiar for you. But I'm showing this because these are the free generative AI tools for teachers. It's free, but it is with limited versions. Yeah? There are many limitations. If you want to go beyond what they are giving, you have to pay. Yeah. When I share this, you can see this. It's a bit difficult for you to read probably because it is shown in the pie chart. So I will try to share this with your organizers. If you need, you can contact Dr. Sumati. Yeah? Okay, thank you. I think I stopped sharing. I think, Dr. Sumati, am I allowed to have questions? If you have any questions, please, I don't mind taking 1 or 2 questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any questions from any participants?
Any questions?
Anything to do with classroom teaching and learning education? You can just ask me. Lecturers, if we have lecturers there, professors, you can also ask. How can, there's a question from Prasad Kumar. How can educators ensure the integration of
sir. Sorry for the interruption. There is a question. How can educators ensure that the integration of AI-driven tools for personalized learning and real-time feedback does not compromise the development of critical human skills such as empathy and creativity in students? I repeat the question. How can educators ensure that the integration of AI-driven tools for personalized learning and real-time feedback doesn't compromise the development of critical human skills such as empathy and creativity in students?
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, I said this when I was presenting my slides. The most important thing that a teacher, an instructor, or a lecturer or professor, any level you can do is, if you don't want to compromise on critical thinking and empathy and sympathy, there must be. I said earlier, you must pay a lot of attention on soft skills, and the questions that we give should involve soft skills and also critical thinking, especially higher order critical thinking. These higher order thinking, critical thinking activities should involve other students, whereby soft skills and teamwork is taken into consideration. I think to a certain level, I said that in my lecture just now. So I think if we are able to give them questions that are related to higher order thinking skills and that involve many other students in the classroom and where they can learn about teamwork, So soft skills is also important. The latest thing that people have included in their pro forma in the curriculum is entrepreneurship. We also teach students on to a certain level of entrepreneurship, how to do business and how to develop business and so on, even in a language classroom, so that we do not have to compromise on sympathy, empathy, and quality of critical thinking. So that's my answer. I think I've answered the question. Any other questions? Any other questions, please?
No, sir.
No
Any
questions?
questions
Okay.
from the participants?
From the students, any PhD students here? Yeah, this is from Sujita. Yeah. How can educators effectively integrate AI tools in a way that promotes? Can you repeat the question? It disappeared before I completed. Okay. How can educators effectively integrate AI tools in a way that promotes inclusivity, engagement, without compromising ethical, human-centered aspects of teaching learning? That's why this question, when I was discussing this with some professors in Singapore recently, I just came back from there. As I said earlier, with AI tools, if you still want to promote inclusivity and engagement without compromising ethical, human-centered, you must give them opportunity to be involved in team activity. Your activities that you give in the classroom should involve a lot of group activities. There must be some collaborative work. If you do that, then you can effectively integrate AI tools with, at the same time, you can include or promote inclusivity. Yeah. So that's my answer.
There is another question from Mr. Arvind Kumar. What strategies can educators adopt to balance the benefits of AI-driven personalized learning with the need to cultivate critical thinking and ethical awareness in students, ensuring they remain active participants in the learning process? I repeat the question.
I understand, Dr. Sumati.
Educators adopt to balance the benefits of AI-driven personalized learning with the need to cultivate critical thinking and ethical awareness in students, ensuring they remain active participants in the learning process.
Yeah, in the learning process,
What are the strategies the educators can incorporate?
I think all the questions that you have.
Assure critical thinking and ethical learning as well.
Yeah, I think as I said earlier in my presentation, we cannot stop students from using AI. We cannot stop them because it is there, just a click and everything is there. But if you teach them about the integrity, I have a PhD student who is majoring on this integrity of online learning and AI, the use of artificial intelligence. And according to the findings of that research, you cannot avoid this. You cannot avoid this. If you want to involve a student, if you want to teach without compromising ethical and human-centered aspects, you can only play along with them. Ask them to teach them about how to be highly responsible, not to depend too much on artificial intelligence, and of course, hands-on kind of a presentation in the classroom. I find it very useful in my lecture room in my university because they are preparing their assignments mostly with the help of artificial intelligence. So what I do is after collecting their assignments, I will one part of my assessment is to ask them to do presentation. Yeah, they have to present without the help of any AI tools. They have to present in front of the classroom. That will actually help you to gauge the student's performance, and also will give the student a degree of confidence. Yeah, and when they are doing their assignment, they know that I'm going to ask them to do a presentation in the classroom. So therefore, they do not depend 100% on ChatGPT or any other form of artificial intelligence, because they know I'm going to make them present in the classroom. Okay, so to teachers and lecturers, if you have students in the classroom, you have to spend time in the classroom by asking them to do presentation. Yeah, without them depending on anything, even without the PPT. Ask them to present their findings. Ask them to present about their assignment. So therefore, from there we can actually assess the students' performance, and we know that this is the student's own work and it is not from AI assisted tools. Yeah. Okay. I think I've already answered that. I've given you examples of how I handle my student in the classroom in the university. Okay. So if I do not have any other questions, I think I stop taking questions now.
One more question, sir. Maybe we will take it as the final and the last question from
Okay.
the participants.
Yeah.
What measures can be taken to ensure that AI-driven tools for real-time feedback and administrative tasks do not inadvertently widen the gap between students or educators who are less digitally literate and those who are more technologically adept?
Yeah.
Tech savvy
Yeah.
students and educators.
I understand. Yeah, I understand the question.
Measures
Yeah.
can be taken to ensure that AI-driven tools for real-time feedback and administrative tasks do not inadvertently widen the gap between students or educators who are less digitally literate and those who are more technologically adept.
Yeah.
Those who possess the expertise.
Yeah, I understand. I understand the question. I'm answering the question now. What measures can be taken to ensure AI-driven tools for real-time feedback and administrative tasks do not inadvertently widen the gap between students and educators who are less digitally literate and those who are more technologically adept. For these, as I said earlier, number one, as an instructor, we have to keep up to date with our knowledge. Yeah. The more the students submit their work, the more they give me AI-driven work, the more I have to learn to use what do you call these Turnitin, for example. Last time I was not good on using Turnitin. Now I'm learning to use it to identify the students' work, so that if I know the level of students, like they might even copy directly lift something from journal articles and books, and they claim that it is their work. So lecturers, if you do not learn on how to overcome this problem, if you are not learning on how to use all these apps, then I think, like what you have said there, we are going to be more technologically apart, yeah, because the students are Y generation and Z generation, they know how to maneuver and how to manipulate. So as lecturers and teachers, they have to learn all the pros and cons, and they also have to learn about all the apps. There's no way. If you don't learn, then of course it's going to widen the gap. Like what you asked me, it's definitely going to widen the gap unless you learn and you play along with them and you tell them not to do this and that. If you do not know about the apps, then definitely you cannot help the students, because they are going to be more technologically adept, and we are going to be unable to detect whatever that they are doing using AI. Yeah. So I think I've already answered this question. I think that will be the last question for me to take.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with that note, I would like to say thank you so much to the organizing committee for the invite. I hope if I come to Chennai, I've been there many times, and I've been to the other SRM to give a talk. The one near Krompet, forgot the name. I've been there, so if I coming to Chennai next time, maybe I can drop by this SRM. Maybe we can meet up. I can share my knowledge better because this online thing limits many things. So maybe when I come there, we can exchange our knowledge and discuss a lot of things. Okay, Dr. Sumati, I think I'm done. Thank you so much. And for all those who attended my talk, those who are listening, using some online sources, good luck to you. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for that informative session. And you have showed us how to channelize the AI-driven tools for constructive purposes. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Now, may I request Dr. Vilasani? May I request Dr. Sridevi, HOD Department of EFL, to take over the session.
Good afternoon again. So after the 3 plenary sessions, we are going to start the paper presentation session. Session 1 for online starts now. Along with the online session, we have only one offline presentation now. So kindly introduce yourself, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bhagavati. I am a research scholar in Wales University. So today I would like to present on the topic Patriarchal Power Structure in That Long Silence by Shashi Deshpande. So Shashi Deshpande is regarded as one of the most accomplished contemporary Indian women writers in English. She won the Sahitya Academy Award for her novel That Long Silence in 1989. Her novel deals about the trials, tribulations, pain, and anguish faced by Indian women. Patriarchal discrimination is a complicated phenomena in Indian society, especially for women. Women do not have an identity of their own. Laws of Manu are rooted in the traditional manner which teaches men how to look at and treat women. So women are always expected to play a role of a daughter, mother, wife, sister, etc. And in their youth, they are taken care of by their father. In their childhood, they are taken care of by their father. In their youth, they are being taken care of by their husbands. And in their old age, they are being taken care of by their sons. So now, Deshpande, in her novel That Long Silence, has used silence as a symbol throughout the novel. So Jaya, the protagonist and the narrator, recalls that in her childhood, film songs were banned on Radio Ciro because it was considered disgusting to listen to the film songs on Radio Ciro. Jaya's father considered it as a disgusting mush. He tried his best to make Jaya love classical songs of Paluskar and Fiaz Khan because in those days, listening to classical music was considered as a matter of high taste, and classical music exuded masculinity while film songs are bathed in femininity. Jaya also recalled yet another incident. She always liked to watch ads before the beginning of the movies. Once, she went for a movie with her husband, but her husband Mohan took a long time because he thought nothing of missing the ads before the main movies. So Jaya remained silent because she was advised by her grandma and her elders to remain silent. Jaya's husband Mohan shifted the house out of compulsion to hide from the mistake and escape from the punishment. But even then, Jaya remained silent. After marriage with Mohan, she realized that she was forced to do and follow whatever her husband said or did. Deshpande also highlights the theme of gender discrimination in this novel. Jaya, the protagonist, is also a victim of gender discrimination. She notices that her name has been excluded from the family tree drawn by her paternal uncle. She questioned her uncle, and her uncle replies, I'm quoting from the text, how can you be here? You don't belong to this family. You're married and you have no place here. So, patriarchy expects women to break her ties with her family, siblings, and parents. And she is expected to be a member of a marital home, and she should always view her husband as a refugee and sheltering tree. She recalls yet another incident. So it's the duty of the girls to clean the place of utensils and leftovers after everybody else had eaten. So Jaya questioned on one such occasion, and there arose only a derisive laughter. This brings to mind Judith Butler's theory of gender performativity. Judith Butler, in her essay, Interiority to Gender Performativity, states that gender performs the work of naturalization through stylized repetition of words, action, and gestures. In short, she says that gender is a performance and it is a social construct. So, society expects male members to provide financial support to the family, whereas women are expected to be nurturers. So it's a common tradition to give names to the girls on the day of the wedding. Similarly, the protagonist Jaya was also given the name Suhasini, which means soft smiling and placid woman. But Jaya remained only as Jaya, which means victory. So Jaya expresses her resistance against patriarchy by not adopting the name. So this can also be compared to Anita Nayar's novel Lessons in Forgetting, where one of the main characters, Kalachiti, was also given the name Vaidegi by her marital home. But when the marital discord took place, she asserted herself only as Kalachiti and not as Vaidegi. Not only Jaya's uncle, but Jaya's parents also asserted gender discrimination. Jaya's parents wanted to gift the house at Dadar only to Jaya's brother and not to Jaya, because patriarchy glorifies and gives preference only to male child. So not only Jaya, but Jaya's mother-in-law is also a victim of patriarchy in the hands of her husband Mohan, her husband. So Mohan's father always wanted to have fresh food, and he insists on his wife serving fresh food. So once his wife failed to serve him fresh food, and he became furious. So he flipped the plate at her. He did not hit her directly, but it hit on the wall and it fell on the floor. So at that time, Jaya's in-law asked Mohan to borrow chilies, and she prepared fresh chutney, and she was waiting for her husband to have his meal, because patriarchy always considers women as inferior to men, and women can have his or her meal only after her husband has it. So Jaya's sister-in-law Vimala also suffered silence. So she did not inform her in-law about her malady. So had she informed also, it would be in pain. This is evident from the response that Vimala's mother-in-law gives. So I quote from the text. God knows what is wrong with this woman. She has been lying there on bed for months. If you want to take her home, what a fuss about these women going to doctors as if other women don't have periods or things like that. So Jaya realizes that not only upper class women but also lower class women also suffer silence. So one of the central examples for this is Jaya's maid servant Naina. So she was being beaten brutally by her good for nothing husband. So at that time, Jaya's maid servant Naina never complained or expressed her anger. Even then, she was keen on delivering only a male child. So this shows that how patriarchy has shaped women, despite being a victim and despite being a brutal victim. She wants to only satisfy the patriarchal norms. Similarly, Tara's daughter-in-law Jija uh, Tara complained to her mother-in-law Jeeja that she was being beaten very badly by her drunkard husband. But even then, her mother-in-law consoled her, saying that it's he who keeps kumkum on your forehead. So this shows that though a woman understands the sufferings of other women, she cannot help her because women are always trapped in patriarchy. So this reminds me of Simone de Beauvoir's Second Sex. Simone de Beauvoir in her essay Second Sex states that men always consider themselves as subjects and women are considered as other. So this results in the objectification of women by men. So men need not rely on women for their existence, whereas women cannot. It is believed that women cannot exist without man. So Deshpande makes the characters adhere to norms. So in the novel, Jaya takes to writing. She is not as we know, Ted Hughes, the husband of Sylvia Plath, did not allow her to write. So similarly, Jaya's husband Mohan also forbade her from writing, but she was allowed by her friend, her neighbor Kamath, to write, and her neighbor Kamath always encouraged her to write. So Deshpande through Jaya voices for the oppressed. This reminds me of Gayatri Spivak's quote from the essay Can the Subaltern Speak? Where Gayatri Spivak says that subalterns cannot speak for themselves, they need someone to speak for them. So I would like to quote Jaya's words. Jaya states, we cannot change over time. It's possible we may not change over a long period of time, but we can also hope, always hope, without which life is impossible, and with which everything has to be made possible. Similarly, in Roots and Shadows also, into the protagonist, though she marries against the caste, she returns to her parental home for refugee. So I would like to end by quoting a critic, Sumana Hakuja, while reviewing the novel That Long Silence in Times of India, states that Jaya is caught in her emotional endeavors to come to terms both with her traditional roles and also trying to realize herself, trying for self-discovery. She realizes that she can no longer be silent, and she tries to erase the conflict between her and her husband by listening, by speaking openly, etc. So I would like to conclude by thanking each and everyone for giving me an opportunity to present. Thank you.
Stay. No issues. No issues. So any questions from the audience or participant side? Any questions? Students, any questions? Okay, I have a question with you.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you relate the novels and the themes to this modern age?
To this modern age, I can say that many women, we can take ourselves as example, despite we abide by the norms as like women, whatever we should do, we abide by the norms, but we also come up. We become empowered ourselves by choosing a profession or something like that. But still, in the modern era, many injustices are being done against women, like as recent event shows. So but we are I can say that we are both victims on one hand, and we are also getting empowered on other hand. So it's two ways.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Volunteers, take her to the seat. Wait. They will assist you. We have 7 online presentations now, students of Shraddha University. First comes Sithora Sitkova under paper Nature and Transcendence, Psychological Insights in Wordsworth's Prelude. Sitora ma'am, are you available on the forum?
Yes, good afternoon. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sitora Sujikawa. I am the final year student of BA Applied English at Sharda University, Uzbekistan. Well, I feel pride that I have the opportunity to present on the topic. Topic name is Nature and Transcendence, Psychological Insights in Wordsworth's Prelude, which aligns with the sphere that is literature and psychology both. If we go to the introduction part of the slide I have, we have three spheres that we can talk about is objective, significance, and focus. Objective is that explore Wordsworth's prelude through psychological frameworks and its portrayal of transcendence via nature. Significance highlights the interplay of literature, psychology, and philosophical themes. Focus analyze the role of nature in shaping human psyche and transcendental experiences. If we go to the next slide, background on Wordsworth and the prelude. About Wordsworth, we can talk like he is a romantic poet known for emphasizing nature and the individual's emotional response. The prelude poem is autobiographical poem reflecting Wordsworth's philosophical growth and emotional connection with nature. It includes the themes memory, imagination, and the sublime. The next one is psychological frameworks used. The first one is psychoanalytic theory, Freud's concept of the unconscious mind and early childhood experiences, and Jung's theory of individuation, the alignment of the self through interactions with nature. The second one is eco-psychology, nature's role in mental health and healing, connection between ecological balance and emotional well-being. The next one is nature as a therapeutic medium. Wordsworth's perspective, nature as a teacher and healer at the same time. And examples from the prelude is recollection of childhood experiences in nature and restoration of emotional balance through the sublime. The next one is psychological insight, how Wordsworth's immersion in natural landscapes fosters self-actualization. Well, the next slide will be talking about transcendence through nature. Definition is rising above ordinary experiences to attain a higher state of consciousness. In the prelude, interaction with the sublime evokes awe and spiritual awakening, nature's capacity to dissolve ego and foster universal connection. Jungian interpretation, nature is an archetype of the collective unconscious. The next one is memory and imagination. Nature's role in shaping Wordsworth's emotional and intellectual identity and influence of past experiences on present reflection. And if we turn to imagination, imagination part of the poem is creativity inspired by natural beauty, the interplay between perception and subconscious insights. The next one is key psychological themes in the prelude. The first one is self-discovery. The journey from confusion to clarity, nature as a mirror for introspection, because the writer William Wordsworth goes to the woods and alone he will discover himself. The next one is healing and resilience, overcoming existential anxiety through communion with nature. Third one is unity and universality. dissolving personal boundaries to embrace the collective spirit. The next one is applications of modern psychological theories. Positive psychology. Wordsworth's narrative aligns with the themes of resilience and well-being. The cognitive psychology. Nature's influence on perception and memory. As the poems mostly are about related to nature and the resilience that we get from them. The next one is humanistic psychology, emphasis on self-actualization and personal growth. The next one is comparative analysis with other poets, which is one of his friends, Coleridge, nature's role in imagination and spiritual awakening. That is also goes with the same topic as his. The next one is Shelley, the sublime as a source of existential contemplation. The last one is Byron, nature's dual role as healer and tormentor at the same time. Well, if we go to the conclusion part of the presentations of today's, Wordsworth's prelude serves as a bridge between literature and psychology. Nature plays a pivotal role in fostering transcendence, emotional healing, and self-discovery. Psychological insights enrich the understanding of romantic literature's depths and relevance. The keywords for presentation, as we have talked about the romanticism. This is not about being romantic kind of, but this is something about the romantic period of time, and sublime, which is related to the poem of greatness, and psychoanalysis, which is also, which will be talking about the psychological state of the human being in nature, bonding with the nature. The next one is eco-psychology, one of the branches of psychology that deals with the nature. Transcendence. Transcendence is the word that is taken from Latin. The prefix of the word trans means to, it is beyond, and sendence means to climb. So completely it means like reaching to the beyond state of the human mind with spiritual condition. The next one is nature, which is the main topic of the poem. The prelude poem includes 14 types in itself, so most of them are connected with the nature topic. The next one is self-discovery, memory, and imagination. So the references used in the presentation of mine today, and we'll end the presentation with the words said by William Wordsworth: "Poetry is the first and the last of all knowledge. It is immortal as the heart of a man." Thank you so much.
The situation is very Yeah, we have received a message from the organizer. Just don't take more than like 3, 4, 5 minutes. The situation is worse there because of torrential rain they have been experiencing. Colleges and universities are being shut down. So please be ready. Just
They don't need to show the
presentation. No
reference is just the highlights of it.
Yes, come
And
next
just don't
one,
say
please.
the next slide. Just say what you mean by it.
Yes, that's it.
And then don't highlight the reference part. You don't need to highlight the reference.
Just come to the next one and finish it with the 5 minutes or with your conclusion.
Make it very precise.
Thank you for your understanding, Professor. The next presenter on this for this session is Gailo Hazunova, and the title Cultural Influences on Language Learning and Acquisition.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Oghla Hassanova, senior student of Sharda University, Faculty of Humanities. And now I'm going to present about Now I'm going to present about the cultural influences on language learning and acquisition. Here you can see the see the contents of my today's presentation. They are included as introduction point and the theoretical perspectives, cultural dimensions in language learning, and empirical studies, practical implications, challenges, and future directions, conclusions, as well as with the references. In the first, I will introduce my presentation. Language and culture are deeply intertwined with each other. Language serves as a medium to express culture, while culture influences the nuances of language use. For learners, understanding the cultural underpinnings of a language is not merely a supplementary skill, but it's a core component of the proficiency. This paper delves into how cultural influences impact language learning, considering the cognitive and affective and social dimensions. There are some theories which I have involved in my presentation. They are the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. Second one is a socio-cultural theory. Third one is ecological linguistics. It suggests that language shapes thought and perception, implying that linguistic structures influence cultural understanding and vice versa. Sociocultural theory, Lev Vygotsky's sociocultural theory underscores the role of social interaction and the cultural tools in cognitive development. Ecological linguistics, this approach emphasizes the interaction between linguistic practices and cultural ecosystems, positing that language learning occurs within specific sociocultural environments that influence learners' engagements. Then it's about cultural dimensions in language learning. Dimensions like attitudes and motivation, pragmatic competence, and cultural distance. And next slide is about empirical studies. It consists of role of cultural familiarity, cultural stereotypes and language learning, and mobile-assisted language learning. Studies on mobile-assisted language learning reveal that culturally tailored apps improve vocabulary retention and the comprehension. Practical implications, they are culturally responsive teaching, use of more technology, collaborative learning, and so on. We may face some challenges and future directions. Overcoming cultural biases, one of the significant challenges addressing cultural bias that learners and educators may hold. Training programs for teachers should focus on intercultural sensitivity. In the end, I would like to say that cultural influences on language learning and acquisitions are profound and multifaceted. Understanding these influences enables educators to design effective pedagogical strategies that embrace cultural diversity. And now you can see here the references, and then thank you for your attentions.
Very good. If they may have any question for you, just wait.
Okay.
Just go back to the screen. Thank you, Em. Okay.
Any questions from the online participants?
Okay.
Thank you.
Dear students here, do you have any questions on this presentation?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. The next presenter is Sarvinso Bidiwa on the title Communication Barriers, a Comprehensive Analysis of Hindrance of Successful Interaction.
So, good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Sarvanos Obidova. I am the, let's say, final year student of Sharda University, Uzbekistan, Faculty of Humanities. Now, let's talk about today the communication barriers, a comprehensive analysis of hindrances to successful interaction. Today, just we are going to go through all these barriers of communication success. The communicative success should be realized in a speech situation where the speaker treats the listener with friendly and a sincere respect. Friendly behavior of both interlocutors serves as a basis for successful communication. The concept of communication is so complex that philosophers, sociologists, linguists, psychologists, teachers, cultural scientists, anthropologists, and a number of other specialists are interested in it. Now, as a first barrier, I have chosen as social-cultural barriers. People see and hear only concepts that are close to their knowledge and skills. A person consciously or unconsciously obeys social norms as a part of a certain culture. So the next barrier is psychological barriers. Although the speaker conveys information that he thinks is useful for the interlocutor, if the listener doesn't listen to it with interest or doesn't want to answer the question, such a conversation will not be effective. The third barrier, it is named as organizational barriers, are such obstacles or factors that destroy the correct and implementation of the conversation, including choosing the wrong situation, trying to start a conversation at the wrong time, an unwanted topic, long and unnecessary words, data transfer, trying to communicate in a noisy environment, unclear content, and a format of messages, lack of time can be included. Next is personal barriers. Interferes with effective communication and can limit the communication process. A person's character is a specific combination of characteristics that have been relatively distant for a certain period of time. Next is like a lack of communicative competence. Actually, when the word is like told as competence, it means like ability. Wrong choice of topic. For the discussion, unclear goals of what to achieve with it, unacceptable external conversation style, inability to sustainable arguments, inability to ask questions, those can be all lack of communicative competence. And using professional terms, concepts, jargon, and dialects. A statement containing terms, slang, and dialects that are incomprehensible to the addressee hinders the success of communication. So, and now is here you can see that, let's say, this tablet here is a diagram about the encoding and decoding and how it processes in our communication process. And here also overcoming communication barriers. These are, let's say, 5 the most like challenges are faced by majority of speakers in any kind of language. And as a summary, I can say that humans have different ways of perceiving and thinking, which are unique. If their thinking patterns are significantly different, they will perceive and interpret the same information differently. Sometimes people interpret reliable information based on their own viewpoints and feel sad or happy as a result. These are the list of people. They are the references that were helpful for me to create this like presentation about a certain topic. So my PPT was consist of those like information. I hope that you found this like effective. Thank you for your attention.
Just one. Good, excellent.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. You have a question from one of our students.
It was a wonderful presentation, Sarvanos. Myself, Sakshi, I have a question for you. Since you're talking about communication barriers, I'd like to know how new generation technology affects effective communication.
So this is a very good question. Thank you for that. Actually, most of the students usually, let's say, face with this problem, let's say using too much technology for their education purpose. It creates like a barrier. It tells or teaches that people have to be antisociable. Most like people, especially teenagers, like today's youngsters, are obsessed with using mobile phones and technology. It means that they have got barrier, just they have a barrier to break ice, to start communication with others. Which means seems like they are becoming more antisociable under the influence of using social media. Here is my suggestion that if the usage of internet or the technology, let's say, decrease, I think that their antisociability also will decrease in the coming years if we have such kind of process in our society.
So you are saying antisocial behavior is a barrier for the effective communication.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anything?
Thank you, Soven. So next comes, kindly excuse my pronunciation of your name, Kanchnuwa Mubina, and the title, Exploring the Human Psyche Through Nature in Robert Frost Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening.
Okay, Sarvinas. Where is the bag? Oh, laptop.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to delve into Robert Frost Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. First slide will be consisting introduction. Objective: Robert Frost Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening explored the tension between the desire for peace and the need to fulfill responsibilities. Let's talk about a brief overview. Before we dive into psychological analysis, let's quickly recap the poem itself. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening is a short narrative poem about a speaker who pauses during a journey to appreciate the beauty of snowy-covered winter scene. The speaker momentarily enchanted by the peacefulness of the woods, but remembered that he has promises to keep and must continue his journey. There are some psychological themes that we have to discuss in that poem. Introspection refers to the act of looking inward and reflecting on one's thoughts and feelings. Escapism is a desire to break free from the pressures and obligations of everyday life. In the poems, the speaker is momentarily tempted by the idea of remaining in the woods away from his responsibilities. The serene environment seems to offer an escape from the chaos of life. Psychologically, escapism is a common response to stress or the weight of responsibilities. Responsibility refers to the obligation that individuals must fulfill in their lives, whether personal, social, or professional. Duty is often seen as external force that keeps an tethered to the world, reminding us that we must continue despite our desires to retreat. In the poem, speaker remembers that he has promises to keep, and that's why he must leave the peaceful woods and continue his journey. Next one, symbolism and imagery. Nature as a mirror to the psyche. In this poem, nature doesn't simply serve as a setting, but as a reflection of the speaker's inner world. The woods symbolize a place of serenity and isolation, representing the speaker's unconscious desire for peace. The snow, with its purity and stillness, mirrors the tranquility that the speaker seeks. The final lines a return to reality. The last lines of the poem, "And miles to go before I sleep," are often interpreted as a return to the demands of life. From a psychological standpoint, these lines symbolize the idea that even in moments of introspection or escape, we must eventually confront our obligations and responsibilities. The phrase "before I sleep" may also be seen as a metaphor for life, suggesting that we cannot rest or find peace until our duties are fulfilled. conclusion, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening is not merely a poem about nature, it's a profound meditation on the human condition. Through a psychological lens, we see how Frost uses nature to reflect the internal conflicts of the human psyche. The poem's symbolism, vivid imagery, and exploration of psychological themes such as introspection, escapism, and responsibility create a timeless reflection of the complexities of human experience. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions or engage in further discussion about this interpretation.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Any questions from the online presenters or online participants? Any questions? Any questions from the student side here? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next comes Zianuddin Jamnev and the title Delimiting Languages, Exploring Relevance in Caesarean Linguistics in Regard with AI.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'll be discussing the relevance of social and linguistics in the modern era, particularly in the context of artificial intelligence and natural language processing. My name is Zainuddin. I'm a third-year student of Sharda University in Uzbekistan. So let's begin. Let's begin with Fernand de Saussure. He was a Swiss linguist who transformed the study of language in the early 20th century. His theories from the foundation of structuralism, a dominant approach in linguistics. And one of the most significant contribution is the idea of language as a system of signs. Each sign has two parts, the signifier and the signified. The signifier, which is a physical form like a word or a sound. The signified, which is the concepts or meaning behind it. And what's interesting is that connection is arbitrary. For example, the word tree has no natural link to the object it represents. It's a connection agreed upon within a language community. And Saussure also introduced two key relationships, syntagmatic relations and paradigmatic relations. Syntagmatic relations, which are about how words relate in a sequence, like in a sentence. Pragmatic relations, on the other hand, which involves substitutable words in the same context. And another important idea is the distinction between language and parole. Language refers to the shared language system of a community, while parole is how individuals actually use language in real life. And the next one, while Saussure's work is groundbreaking, it has limitations. For example, his focus on structure can overlook how language evolves over time and the role of personal interpretation. And now let's connect this, the AI and natural language processing. The short form is NLP. The natural NLP is considered Saussure's focus on structure helps AI understand sentence patterns and word relationships. His ideas influence natural language process models for tasks like text generation and translation. However, AI still struggles with some nuances of human language, such as emotions and cultural barriers. And modern AI tools like machine learning and semantic networks are inspired by Saussurean principles. These tools use large datasets to analyze patterns and relationships in language, bridging linguistics and computational methods. And finally, the future of AI linguistics includes exciting trends like multimodal AI, which integrates text, images, and audio, and contextual understanding, where AI can interpret meaning based on different situations. In conclusion, sojourn linguistics remains highly relevant, offering insights into both human and artificial language systems. As AI continues to evolve, sojourn's ideas will undoubtedly guide its progress. Thank you for your attention. That's all I wanted to tell about Sojourn's experience on language.
Online participants, any question? Any question on the previous, on the current presentation? Dear students, any questions with you? This paper is related to AA only, so you could easily throw questions. So I have a question with you. So do you have any comprehensive idea to the students to learn linguistics or language, be a master in language with the help of AA?
Thanks for the question. Yes, of course. Nowadays, AI is modernizing a lot, and we are somehow we are relying on these AI, concepts like ChatGPT or Google AI or something like that. So it helps us to to analyze our mistakes, to show our mistakes, and uh, in order to improve our mistakes, improve our linguistic language, we need to know where we are making the mistakes. So that's why AI helps to us show our mistakes, and based on this, we can improve our language as well.
Sir, there is a question from the participants online. Let me read that question. So how can Sasser's concept of the arbitrariness of the sign and the synaptometic and parametric relationship should to be applied or adapted to enhance AI's understanding and generation of human language, given the dynamic and evolving nature of linguistic systems? Such a very big question.
Big means we want to ask about the AI, how to the application in social theory.
Okay, if the question is long, I have to answer long as well. So Chaucer's concept on the arbitrariness of the sign as sigmatic pragmatic relation provide a foundational framework for understanding human language as a system of relations. These concepts can be adopted to enhance AI's understanding and generation of human language, particularly in the context of the dynamic and evolving nature of linguistic system. So, for example, arbitrariness of the sign, as I mentioned in my presentation, and sigmatic and pragmatic relations, all connected to this, and also dynamic and evolving linguistic system as well. By grounding AI system in social linguistics principles, developers can create models that not only understand the language in its current state, but adapt to its ongoing evolution, enhancing both accuracy and flexibility in language-related tasks.
Thank you, sir.
You're
so
welcome.
The next presenter.
Thank you.
Abdul Lakshava Mubina, on the paper title Anatomy of Sound, exploring of Daniel Jones' contribution to phonetics.
Excellent, Janiti. Did you answer, sir?
Good afternoon, everyone. My full name is Abdul Khatwa Mubina, and I'm the third year student of BA Applied English faculty. Now I'm going to talk about anatomy of sound, exploring Daniel Jones' contribution to phonetics. This presentation explores the pioneering work of Daniel Jones, a prominent figure in the development of phonetics. We will delve into his contributions to the field, including his work on the international phonetics alphabet and his group-breaking research on vowels, consonants, intonation, and stress sounds. The pioneering work of Daniel Jones, early life and dedication. Jones studied at the Cambridge University, where he developed a deep interest in phonetics. Founding the Department of Phonetics, he established the Department of Phonetics at the University College London, fostering a new generation of phonetics. The phonetic alphabet and its applications. First one, universal system. The IPA chart provides a standardized system for transcribing sounds across language. Second one, language learning. The IPA chart helps learners accurately pronounce sounds and improve pronunciation. Third one is speech therapy. It's a vital tool for diagnosing and treating speech disorders. Vowel and consonant classification. Vowel. Jones' work categorized vowel based on tongue height, tongue advancement, and lip rounding. Consonants were classified based on the place and manner of articulation. The International Phonetic Alphabet IPA chart. Standardization. Jones played a crucial role in developing and refining the IPA chart. Clarity. The IPA promotes consistent and accurate transcription of spoken language. Universality. The IPA widely adopted by linguistics, phoneticians, and speech therapists worldwide. Jones' series on intonation and stress. Intonation, rise and fall of pitch in speech. Stress, emphasis placed on certain syllables in a word or phrase. The influence of Daniel Jones on modern linguistics. Foundational work. His research laid the groundwork for modern phonetic analysis, language pedagogy. His contributions have revolutionized language teaching and learning, speech science. Jones' legacy continues to shape research in speech pathology and phonetics. Continuing the legacy, the importance of phonetics studies, language understanding. Phonetics is crucial for understanding how we produce and perceive speech. Speech technology. Phonetics is fundamental to speech recognition and synthesis technology. Linguistic diversity. Phonetics helps us appreciate the vast diversity of sounds across the language. Thank you. At the end of my presentation, I would say that phonetics is the organism, like it's a part of our life. We have to utter sounds, we have to explain our thoughts, opinions by using sounds, by using words, phonetics. Thank you.
Thank you for your detailed presentation. Any questions from the participants online? If you have any questions, please post in the chat box. Any questions from the students?
Do I have? Okay.
Hope you have presented well, ma'am. That's why no questions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So the next presenter on this forum is Izobawa, and the research title, Analysis of Different Approaches to the Classification of Speech Acts.
Good afternoon, our respectful and honorable professors, teachers, and students. My full name is Yusufa Mahmaroyum. I'm a third-year student, Bachelor of Applied English, Faculty of Humanities, Sharda University of Uzbekistan. Now I'm going to talk about analysis of different approaches to the classification of speech acts. Speech Act classification. This presentation explores the fascinating world of speech acts and their classification. We'll examine different approaches to understanding the ways we utilize language to perform actions and achieve goals. From the form of sentence to the purpose of utterances, we'll unravel the complexities of human communication. A bird's eye view of speech act theory. Speech act theory, developed by philosopher Joel Osteen, focuses on the actions performance through language, not just literal meaning of words. It examines how speakers use language to make statements, requests, promises, apologizes, and other actions that influence the world around them. Accordingly, Treason speech act was developed by Austin in 1962 and later enriched by Searle in 1975. Accordingly to Searle's classification, speech acts are divided into 5 different categories, consisting of representative, directive, commissive, expressive, and declarative. Bangun, Dolly, and Sergey believes that speech acts are actions produced through language accompanied by actions. There are 7 categories of speech acts: assertive, performative, verdictive, expressive, directive, commissive, and pathetic. Assertive and performative utterances. Assertive, they express the speaker's belief in the thrust of a proposition. Examples of include the sky is blue or I think it will rain. Performative utterance like I promise your husband and wife accomplish an action by simply being uttered. These acts rely on social conventions and authority. Verdictive and expressive utterances. Verdictive utterances involve judgments, evolutions, or pronouncements. They often rely on expertise or authority. Examples include the defendant is guilty or this painting is a masterpiece. Expressive utterance, it expresses emotions, attitudes, or feelings. Examples include I'm happy or I'm sorry for your loss. Directive and commissive utterances. Directive utterance, they aim to influence the listener's actions, making request, command, or instruction. Close the door or please the salt, pass the salt. Examples of directive utterances. Commissive utterance, they commit the speaker to a future course of action, often in the form of promises or guarantees. For instance, I will be there tomorrow, or I promise to help. Basic utterance, they serve to maintain social interaction and establish a connection between speakers. They are often formulaic and do not convey significant information such as how are you or nice weather, isn't it? It's like a short answer questions, dialogues is a basic utterance. It's a references from our presentation. In my conclusion, understanding how speech acts function enriches on our understanding of communication, allowing us to interpret meaning beyond the literal words and to better navigate the complexities of human interaction. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you, ma'am. So there is a question for you from one of our psychologist unit.
How does speech act theory apply to modern forms of communication like texting or social media?
May you repeat?
How does speech act theory apply to modern forms of texting and social media?
Social media. The concepts of locution, elocution, and perlocution were introduced by philosopher John Austin in his speech act theory as a part of his analysis of how language functions beyond just conveying information. These terms describe the different aspects of speech acts.
Thank you. Thank you for your explanation.
Thank you.
So that's all the presentation from Shraddha University. So I take this opportunity to thank Professor Ravindra and Dr. Anand from Shraddha University.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude and thanks to the SRM University for organizing such a wonderful event and conference online. Secondly, I would like to also say thanks for giving our students this opportunity because they are just stepping into the research area. They are fourth-year students and this is a dissertation in English. They have one kind of a compulsory paper here. So these are maiden effort to present online conference, and I would like to say thank you SRM and your team, those have given them opportunity. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. It was a very wonderful coordination from your side, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much,
Actually, thank you for your patience also.
Oh, it's so nice of you, ma'am. It's your because, and I'm also worried about the torrential rain that you people have been experiencing there, and a lot of people are not able to attend your conference, and this kind of thing happens. But my good wishes and good luck for all of your team to conduct this event successfully. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. So that's all the online presentations in panel 1. And again, we are going to start with the offline presentations.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
In the offline presentation, first comes Dr. Jyoti Lakshmi on the title, Creativity and Stylistic Techniques in Arundhati Roy's God of Small Things.
Offline presentation is going on, right?
Good afternoon to one and all. This is Jyoti Lakshmi from SRM College of Arts and Science in Dindigul. I would like to present a topic about creativity and stylistic techniques in Arundhati God of Small Things. There is a difference between what is God and what is big, what is small. These are the analysis of this novel. Put it in this Arundhati's novel is very difficult one. This novel, she started her career in 1992, but she finished this work in 1997. She got a Booker Prize in the award she got in the year of 1997. So, we can analyze of this novel, what is some creativity? All of you know that is some creativity. This makes one a beautiful nature and stylistic techniques. What is she put it in this novel? The God of Small Things, she put it in these characters. Likewise, analysis. What is this? The unique techniques she used. And she used a number of words in Malayalam, and she used these words both verbal and non-verbal communications. So, first, she introduced complex creativity and stylistic structure, language and communication she used in these novels. First, she discussed about what caste system and forbidden love. The characters were Ammu and Belta. There's an affair with Velta and Amu. That is an forbidden love she put it in her novel. Then she analyzed what is political issues she put it in her novel. That is some issues going on there.
You have to come into the frame. Yes, fine. Next. Next one.
And she used language and communication characters with a socio and political fabric of Kerala. All these types of she put it in the novel in the it is what the area of in Tamil Nadu, not in Tamil Nadu but in Kerala in Aymanam house she put it, and she described the story in not in a chronological order but in a colonial communication systems she followed, and she used both in language, English and Malayalam she used. And she described in her novel both verbal and non-verbal communication. And all of you know that what is communication. Communication is a verbal and non-verbal. But this communication is used to convey the intensity and transgression nature, the memory and trauma, the characters like Amu. She suffered a lot in her character, but see, in a chronological order, the story was not in a chronological order and non-linear and often triggered by sensory experiences. But psychological trauma, she put it in the novel. The like characters Veluto and Velep, and these characters are, she put it, see, these characters in terms of investigates like the patterns of feminine and feminism. And next one, the character of reality such that morality of their life. The narrative structure, she used the God of small things is non-linear and oscillating between the past and present. She describes the stories to the past and present. And the characters, particularly the twins, Raquel and Esther, these characters were narrative, she used in multiple perspectives. And last that, the symbol of imagery and tragedy and loss. These are the intensity relationship between the emotions and oppressive caste system and forbidden love she portrayed. And lastly, already we discussed, but the psychological impact of trauma on her characters and inedible, not in a more on the twins, shaping their identities and relationships. The characters of she used language to depict trauma. Trauma is both subtle and powerful. Her language refers its post-colonial context and emphasizing its deep and lasting effects on the body and mind. And the conclusion last it otherwise create a powerful and immersive reading experiences. Can you any queries, questions?
Let's check whether any questions in the chat box. Any questions from the participants online? No questions. Okay, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation. Next comes Ms. Sivanandana on the title Significance of Nature in Fostering Human Minds, an Psychosocial Approach to the Poems of Rabindranath Tagore.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ms. Shivanandana from the Standard 5 Works Rajaratnam College for Women, Sivagasi. I am a full-time research scholar working in the area of eco-criticism. So here comes my presentation. My title is Significance of Nature in Fostering Human Minds, an Eco-Psychological Approach to the Select Poems of Rabindranath Tagore. So I think many area students are here. So I would like to give a small glance on eco-criticism. Eco-criticism is just a study of relationship between literature and physical environment. So it's an approach towards a more biocentric world more than an anthropocentric world. So actually it began in US during 1980s and then in UK during 1990s under the name Green Studies. In 1992, the term eco-psychology was coined in the work Voice of Earth by Theodore Roosevelt. So here is a brief introduction about Rabindranath Tagore. He has won Nobel Prize in 1913 for his work Geetanjali. And then he is the one who has composed national anthem of both India and Bangladesh. So I have taken 2 poems for my paper. One is on the nature of love. In this poem, I have applied the theory of Lawrence Boyle, the theory of environmental praxis. And then in the poem New Rain, I have applied the theory of Prakriti and Purush, which was created by Vandana Shiva, an Indian author. So in the poem On the Nature of Love, the poem comprises around 14 lines, and the scenario is that the poet is walking in the night in some forest area, and then lightning strikes there. So through this simple scenario, we can understand that there lies some sort of darkness before lightning comes in everyone's life. We are not born under the same circumstances, and everything changes upon the situation. So we have ups and downs, life is a circle, and we must be able to undergo all these situations in life. And this is what this poem is giving us. Patience and resilience is through patience and resilience we can achieve the goal that we want to get. And then lightning is just an opportunity. So we will be having ebbs and tides in our life. So it's just an opportunity. We say that opportunity do not knock the door twice. And so when opportunity strikes once like a lightning, we must be able to grab it and use it wisely. So we must be determined towards our goal without getting diverted or distracted by anything else. And the next poem is New Rain. So here Vandana Shiva as an eco-feminist, the concept of Prakriti and Purush is also that also comes under eco-feminism. So here in this poem, the dancing of peacock and the growth of rice plants when the rain arrives will be portrayed. So river and clouds, they are formed by rain, and here actually what is meant by Prakriti is it is the feminine force of sustenance and Purush is male force. So only when both these forces combine, there will be a rejuvenation of life. New lives will be created only when these two forces join, they interrelate and they combine. When one force is dominant and the other is resilient, it cannot be formed. When both are in balance, when both are interconnected, there will be a sustenance of life and that early birth will be formed. So rain is a basis of all life forms. So acceptance between the partners is one of the vital things that we need in 21st century. And this poem deals about it. So there is a symbiosis and sustenance between the rain and the river and in the life forms found in the earth. So my research findings are as follows. Literature is actually something which forms a basis for better understanding of the world, as ma'am has said before the lunch. So acceptance and adaptation. We must be able to accept ourselves as we are and adapt ourselves to situation to fit into the place where we want to enjoy the life. And then we must be training our minds to cherish the boons that we are blessed with. We should not complain unnecessarily and we must train ourselves to accept everything and then move ahead with what we have in life. So these are the qualities: contentment, compassion, hope, balance, and interconnectedness. When we are filled with these qualities in life, we can be peaceful as well as we can make our surroundings peaceful. We can be happy, we can spread happiness and positivity everywhere. So we can lead a happy and peaceful life when we follow these qualities as portrayed in literature, as portrayed in the poetry of Rabindranath Tagore even before a century. Thank you so much for giving me a wonderful opportunity to present and share my views here. Thank you. Is there any questions?
How biocentrism is reflected in Rabindranath Tagore's poems?
No, I don't think.
How biocentrism is reflected in Rabindranath Tagore's poems?
Okay, so literature is something criticism emerged only during 1980s, but we can put this theory in the older works also. So that I have compared Rabindranath Tagore's poetry with the trending theory. It's just an attempt actually. I hope it does come well. Thank you. Anything else? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shivanandana. Almost it was like a pre-PhD viva. Okay, next comes Miss Pavitra K. And the title, Barriers of English Language Proficiency Among Hearing Impaired Students as Socio-Linguistic Inquiry.
Good evening, one and all presented here, and I'm here to present my conference on the topic of barriers to English language proficiency among hearing impairment students, a socio-linguistic inquiry. Next. And due to inadequate time, I'm just going very gist. So about hearing impairment, when we get to hear about hearing impairment, unfortunately, we consider that everyone here are like every people who we mention as hearing impairment are deaf, but deaf persons are different from hearing impairment students. Deaf is a person one who can't hear any kind of sounds even with help of any hearing aids. They are called as deaf, and a person who are called as hearing impairment are those who can hear any sort of sounds with help of hearing aids, or naturally they can hear some sounds, but the decimal level of the sounds will be very low. So they are called as hearing impairment people, and they should be called as hearing impairment students, not as deaf. And when it comes to hearing loss levels, first level is slight hearing loss, people who can hear about 15 to 25 dB, dB in the sense decibels, which is considered as a slight hearing loss, and they can hear a few vowel sounds, and they can't hear any unvoiced consonant sounds. And the second category is middle hearing loss, people with 25 to 40 decimals of hearing capacity, who can hear only the louder voiced sounds. And the third category people are moderate hearing loss peoples who can't hear most of the speech sounds at the conversation level. Now, just like we are conversing now, but people who are moderate hearing loss can't hear many voice sounds from our daily conversations. And the fourth one is severe hearing loss, where no speech sounds at natural conversation will be heard by them. They need people from middle, moderate, and severe hearing loss need some additional hearing aids to hear our speech. Next slide, please. And here comes the language and communication. Next, miss. Next. And in the last about 2 slides, I have mentioned about the language and communication. As we all know about the roles played by language and communication in the society. I'm moving to next one. Deaf community and education. Here, communication plays a major role in our day-to-day life conversations, where hearing impairment students, due to inadequate hearing capacity, they face severe difficulties in conversing with people, they can't hear natural sounds which was produced by their mothers when they are infants. They are produced by some sounds that are produced by birds, and any other natural sounds can't be experienced by the hearing impairment students, which leads to their communication challenges. And all hearing impairment students and deaf students possess the normal intelligence as like us, as like other normal children, but the only thing that they lack is hearing capacity. And with the due to inadequate language proficiency and communication, due to the inadequate language proficiency and communication, they just gets to frustrated towards the communication and cause inadequate language functions in their day-to-day life. And education, when it comes to hearing impairment education, when it comes to hearing impairment students education, they get diagnosed lately, because of which they lose a connection towards education. And it becomes a very vast and very difficult task for the teachers and the students to get into the education systems. And now move on to my topic, a socio-linguistic perspective on hearing impairment. So hearing impairment, socio-linguistics is nothing but a socio-linguistic, the importance of language that has been used in a day-to-day life in the society, and its roles placed by the language in the society. And here in the socio-linguistics, I'm mainly concentrating on diglossia. Diglossia is nothing but it is a subtitle under socio-linguistics, which speaks about the high variety and low variety of language that has been used under the society. So, for example, a person uses a kind of language dialects in his family, in home. When he speaks to his mother, his friends, his family, he uses a very comfortable form of language, very comfortable form of communication. At the same person, when he comes out and when he meets a person at the marketplace, he uses different dialects, different form of same language. And that same person, when he goes to places like very formal official meetings, there he uses different kind and different form of language. And the diglossia speaks about that differentiation between the tone, dialects, and verbal uses of language. And next slide, please. Slide next. And here are the strategies to overcome challenges, where functional approach, peoples with hearing impairment should be taught using some of the functional approaches, and they must given immersive exposure to language, to society, to community, and they should be given more communication challenges among their peers, colleagues, and also based approach. Children with hearing impairment should be given technological acknowledgements, like using AIs, for example, using PPTs, and using their hearing aids and all other stuff. And here's in a conclusion, a call for inclusive education, where hearing impairment students are so far not experienced any sort of exposure as much as. So we are expecting more studies under hearing impairment studies and the difficulties faced by them. Next. And thank you for a great opportunity. Thank you.
Can you stay if you have any questions? Thank you, ma'am, for the voice become the voice for the hearing impaired students. And any questions from the student side? Due to technical errors, I couldn't see the screen now to get the questions from the participants online. Okay, there is a question from Prashant Kumar sir. How can socio-linguistic insights guide the development of inclusive teaching strategies that address both the linguistic and cultural challenges faced by hearing impaired students in mastering English language proficiency?
And yeah, that was I explained in one of my slides that diglossia, one of the concepts from socio-linguistic approach, where it speaks about the different kinds of formats of language that has been used in the community and over official languages. So we should teach hearing impairment students with both the exposure to both the higher variety and the lower variety. With that, we can help hearing impairment students to get more information and like more exposure to English language acquisition.
You shall ask the students if you have any questions. If you have any other questions, do we have any other questions? Oh, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Next comes one of our research scholars from the Department of Visual Communication. He is an NRI scholar, Mr. Ernest Almala, on the paper, an interesting paper titled Navigating Second Language Acquisition, Challenges Among Syrian Arab Students in South Indian Universities.
Okay, so good evening. So I'm Anas Al-Malaf from Syria, and I'm doing a PhD in visual communication in SRM Kalatur. So my paper title is Navigating Second Language Acquisition as Challenges Among Syrian Arab Students in South Indian Universities. The reason why I chose to talk about or to do a research on this particular topic is because we as Syrians originally speaking Arab language. So when we come to a foreign country, we face some difficulties while we are learning the local languages. So because in India is considered the second largest country with English language speakers, and English is used as a medium of instruction in Indian institutes. This is one of the reasons why so many foreign students and scholars are coming to India to do their higher studies. So based on my previous review of literature, based on my previous review of literature, the Indian government has issued so many scholarships and study programs, especially for Syrians, because in Syria, we have been in 13 years of war, which made us have like a slow pace in development. So we had to flee our country just to get another chance outside our country, where we can have peace, where we can have other opportunities. So we plan to go to many countries, and in India alone, there are over 2,000 Syrian students doing their higher studies. But as I mentioned, Syrians are facing some intercultural communication gaps and also language issues or linguistic issues. So the significance of this paper or this study is to find out the challenges and the solutions that will help the Syrian people or even the foreigners in any country who are non-English speakers to be able to merge in the community and be able to get the second language easily. So my question in this study is, what strategies do Syrian students use to deal with the challenges of second language acquisition in South Indian universities with respect to local English accents? So my first null hypothesis is there is significant improvement in second language outcomes of Syrian students through direct interaction in South Indian universities. The second hypothesis, the alternative hypothesis, is direct interactions significantly improve the second language outcomes of Syrian Arab students in South Indian universities. So I'm assuming that the direct communication with Indian people in the academic environment or in socially is the reason how we are improving our English, how we are acquiring and improving our English. So my first objective is to investigate the second language acquisition experiences of Syrian students in the academic institutions. And the second objective is to examine the impact of South Indian English accents on the pronunciation and communication proficiency of Syrian students. So my methodology is both qualitative and quantitative. It's mixed methods. In the quantitative, I did a pilot study where I tried to assess the English proficiency of the Syrian students who came to study in India. And also, I wanted to know which degrees they are pursuing in India. In the qualitative, I picked 20 participants from different universities in South Indian states. And I did the interview, or I did the focus group discussion with them, and to identify what challenges they are having while acquiring the language. So as for the results, I'll just summarize the results just for the time. So the results, so direct interaction with the Indian people was the majority of the Syrians emphasize that we get the English language by direct interaction with people. So it's not through learning from classes or from some tutorials on YouTube. It's from direct interaction with the people. And also those who had friends or colleagues in their academic environment or from like social environment, those who have friends were faster to improve and develop their English language. And the students mentioned that, the majority mentioned that those who had one friend only were able to improve more, because when they are in a group setting, most of the Indians, unfortunately, will be preferring to use local language, except for English language. So they will be more comfortable to use local language. At the same time, the foreigner will be just sitting and trying to identify what they are talking about. So, of course, the accents, the Indian accent also in different states, Indian accent also influenced the pronunciation of the Syrian Arab people. So it's not like Arab accent, it's not Indian accent, it's just in between. Of course, I mentioned the using of local languages instead of using English in group discussions or in a meeting or event. And there are two more things, which are the code mixing, which is one of the major problems that the international students face. The code mixing is like when you are speaking one word in English and then one word in Tamil. And again, you go back to the English and again to Tamil. So you are just mixing in between. And also the transliteration, which is using English letters to write in WhatsApp groups, for example, to write in WhatsApp groups Tamil words. It's like using the Latin script or the English script to talk in Tamil, so that the foreigners will not be able to figure out what's going on in the group. So in the end, I just have a recommendation to implement short-term English language program for non-English speakers where they will be able to improve faster, to acquire the language faster, and emphasizing the standardized pronunciation of English, and to learn practical communication. So thank you.
Thank you for the well-reserved paper, which conceptualize the theme of this conference, The Voices Unbound. Any questions from the students? Yes, there is a question which is pertaining among the students. Yeah, there is a question from one of our third year English student.
So, my question to you is that, sir, despite the language barrier.
Wait.
So, my question to you, sir, is that despite the language barrier, were there other aspects that somehow, connected the Syrian students to the South Indian students? Like, let's say, similar interest or similar music taste, just for an example. Since the Syrian students faced a lot of alienation and isolation, which is very natural given the language barrier, but somehow, at certain moments, there are certain aspects like similar, thought process or similar, let's say, taste in psychology or philosophies or music taste, which can bring people together. Was there any instance like that?
Actually, as Syrians, we have been here for so long. For me personally, I've been here for 6 years. So I almost assimilated to the Indian communities or Indian society. So we have so many friends. The reason why we feel like belonging to this place is like another country of us. It's like the second country.
What kind of sampling did you use? Because the sample size is very niche.
Yes.
No, qualitative is the type of study. Sampling, what kind of sampling?
I wanted to know of each state separately, because each state has its own specifications in terms of the language, like Tamil, Kannada, so on, and also in terms of. So I had to ask the Syrians who are.
It's kind of snowball sampling. So you did snowball sampling.
It's like between convenience and snowball. I did convenience actually.
Convenience. It's not snowball.
Because I have direct communication with the Syrians. We have groups. We have WhatsApp. So it's very easy for me to reach to all of them. I don't have to ask someone to ask another. Yes, ma'am. So it's convenience.
Under convenience, it's snowball sampling. So the snowball sampling is generally how you do is like you said, you have one group. So through that group, you contact similar people. So that is how the snowballing goes.
Yeah, but we already have all of the Syrians have one group, which is in social media.
So for the whole world, you mean?
No.
In Tamil Nadu.
In India only, in South India.
So among that, you have selected particular people who fit under the inclusion criteria.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful discussion, sir. Next comes Ms. Afrin Beham for the paper titled Personality and its Role in Language Acquisition Among Adolescents.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Safrin. My research studies about personality and its role in language acquisition motivation among adolescents. This research investigates the impact of personality in shaping language acquisition motivation in adolescents with an emphasis how individual personality has the desire to learn a new language. Personality traits such as extraversion, openness to experience, and emotional stability have been proven to provide different elements of an individual's behavior and attitudes, including motivation to learn a new language. Adolescence is a major period where cognitive and emotional development occurs. And it also a period to examine how personality traits combine motivating variables in second language acquisition. With the importance of growing multilingualism, this study emphasized the need of understanding the relationship between personality and motivation in language acquisition, which is critical for designing personalized learning approaches. And there are a few previous studies which support my research studies. The research titled The Role of Personality in Language Learning Motivation, a case study of adolescents in secondary school. The result shows that extroverted teenagers are more driven to learn a language, especially in social and communication settings. The second research is Personality as a Predictor of Language Acquisition Motivation, a study among adolescents in multilingual communities, in which findings demonstrated that conscientiousness and extraversion were found to be favorable predictors of motivation for language learning. Next slide, please, ma'am. The influence of personality on foreign language learning motivation, a study among high school students, the results showed that pupils who were more outgoing were more inclined to learn a language, whereas students who are more important are open showed more intrinsic motivation. The objective of the study is to find the correlation between factors of personality and motivation in language learning. This study was designed to assess how personality influences motivation among adolescents. The method used in the study are quantitative research. The data was collected from higher secondary students pursuing 11th and 12th standards with a sample of 120. I used simple random sampling using survey method. Next slide. Next slide, ma'am. So tools used in the studies are the Big 5 Inventory 10. It is a 10-item questionnaire with domains including extraversion, conscientiousness, openness to experience, neuroticism. It is a short form of Big 5 Inventory. The second tool is Language Orientation Scale. It is a 21-item questionnaire with 3 domains: A motivation, extrinsic motivation, and intrinsic motivation by Newells and colleagues. So hypotheses of this are, first one, there would be no significance between openness to experience and internal motivation for language learning. There would be a significant relationship between neuroticism, amotivation, and language learning. There would be a significant relationship between extraversion, external motivation for language learning. Conscientiousness is possibly correlated with both external motivation and internal motivation for language learning. There would be a significant relationship between agreeableness and internal motivation for language learning. So here represents the correlation between dimensions of personality and motivation. So the results, the findings from the table 1 shows that there is a significant positive relationship between openness to experience and internal motivation, neuroticism and amotivation, extraversion and external motivation, conscientiousness and both external and internal motivation, agreeableness and internal motivation. The result interpret positive correlation for all of these hypotheses, hence the hypothesis is accepted. The limitation, students who are pursuing other than 11th and 12th grade cannot participate in the study. College students cannot participate in the study. Around 60 students from two schools, Chennai, were selected to participate in the study. The findings of positive correlation association between various personality traits and motivation types imply that personality has an impact on motivation. This finding emphasizes the diverse motivations and challenges that adolescents may face based on their personalities. Educators can create more effective and engaging language learning experiences. Thank you for the opportunity. Any questions, please?
Yes, you go.
What is meant by external motivation and what is meant by internal? Motivation which you get from the external environment, such as when someone is forcing you to do something or seeing others and doing things. Internal motivation is your interest. Excuse me. Can I have one more question? Yes, ma'am.
Oh, we'll be watching some movies like we have watched the other nature movie. So the song itself will be something very motivating. So under which category we'll be considering?
External motivation.
External. So internal is something that will be getting from
The
outside.
urge we have to study a language.
Okay, thank you.
Why were the 10th, 12th, and the college student not allowed to answer the questions?
Because I was focusing only on 11th and 12th standards.
It just said 10th and 12th as well as college student.
No, other than 10th, 11th and 12th, they cannot participate in the studies. Because they have so much of educational pressure, they won't be preferring to study other languages. Any other questions? Thank you.
Ma'am, I have a question for you. So based on your study, how much percentage of adolescents have their internal motivation?
38%, ma'am.
Okay. Based on your study, otherwise, go ahead that and can you inform us what could be the reason the percentage is very less, not even 50%?
As they have focused more on 11th and 12th, as they have focused more on education, they probably don't have time for learning a new language. That's the reason.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So next comes Miss Rugia Fatima. Her paper title, Emotions in Focus, a Neuro-Psychoanalytical Lens on Regulations and Expression.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rukhaya Fatima. I'm a final year student of BSc Psychology from PTT College for Women. And I'm here to present my paper on Emotions in Focus, a neuropsychoanalytic lens on regulation and expression. The aim of this study was to examine the relationship between emotional regulation strategies and emotional expressivity along demographic variables. The study assessed 100 young adults aged 18 to 25 to explore the use of cognitive reappraisal and expressive suppression strategies, as well as their association with positive and negative effects. The Emotional Regulation Questionnaire by Grossenjohn and the Emotional Expressivity Scale by Kling et al. Were used to collect data via a convenience sampling survey method. The results were evaluated using the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. The findings revealed a moderately negative correlation between emotional expression and emotional regulation, which implies that emotional reappraisal and suppression tends to decline as emotional expression rises and vice versa. These are the papers which supported the study of the past papers. You can just skip that. The objective of this study was to learn about the relationship between expressive suppression and negative emotions and cognitive reappraisal and positive emotions, and to use the findings to improve emotional well-being. The hypothesis was that there is no significant relationship between emotional expression and emotional regulation. Yes. The table, ma'am, correlation. Next. Yeah, this one. So according to this table, which was done for the study, emotional expression and emotional reappraisal have a highly negative correlation according to the correlation coefficient of negative 0.341. This implies that emotional reappraisal tends to decline as emotional expression rises and vice versa. And emotional expression and emotional suppression. This implies that emotional suppression tends to decline as emotional expression rises and vice versa because of the correlation coefficient of negative 0.372. The limitations of this study was that the inclusion criteria is young adults aged between 18 to 25 and females with the ability to read and understand the English language. The exclusion criteria for this research are adults above the age of 25 and below the age of 18 were not included, and male participants and those without the ability to read and understand the English language. The findings of the study suggest that low scores on scale dimensions, which include expressive suppression and cognitive reappraisal, are linked to higher level of emotional expression. This negative correlation implies that people who express their emotions externally more often might use fewer alternative measures such as cognitively reassessing circumstances or repressing their emotions. These results emphasize how crucial it is to comprehend emotional regulation techniques, since the relative strength or weakness of each technique may have an impact on psychological health, interpersonal relationship, and emotional well-being. Future studies could examine the relationship between these approaches and mental health outcomes, as well as how situational and cultural factors affect them. Does anyone have any questions?
Kindly check whether any questions on the chat box. Okay.
Any questions? Can you suggest some please take a minute.
Can you suggest regulate our emotion?
Most of the strategies which have been recommended is journaling and not trying to repress your emotions and to sit with them and understand why you are feeling the way we are. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, take over.
Dear all, thank you for your participation and presentation. And now we'll have the honoring session of our chief guest, Dr. Kalanidhi ma'am. Please come to the stage. We'd like to honor the chief guest with a memento as a token of love from us. Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll distribute the certificates. First, paper presenters. Satya Rajan N. Dakshayani M. Pavitra A. Jyoti Lakshmi T. Shivanandana S. Prasanna Devi. Jyoti Lakshmi. Shivanandana. Prasanna Devi. Sachwat Mishra. Robinson Xavier. Mukesh V. Mukesh. Hari Krishnan. Jane Austen I. Next. Hamna I.
Actually, I thought this was the novelist.
Hamna. Rukaya Fatima. Anas Almalla. Afrin Begum. Afrin Begum. Lavanya R. Alfia Tabassum. Lavanya. Participants who are yet to receive your certificates can come forward. Alfia Tabassum. Bashira M.F. Now the certificates for the participants. Amal Raja. Kamalika. Special congratulations for the paper presenters and participants. Thank you all. You are all are invited for the photo session.
All the presentees.
Sorry? All the attendees are requested to come forward for the photo session.
Certificate. Ma'am, please come here. Ma'am, certificate. Read that.
Ms. Hemavati S.
So after the photo session also we should get it. And then participants and presenters, please come.
All the attendees are requested to come on stage for the photo session, please.
Ma'am, இங்கே
Dear students, congratulate them with a big round of applause. Final certificate, S. Chitra, Dr. S. Chitra.
faculty members of EFL and psychology come. And scholars. Yes, of course, you people are right? Scholars. Last year, Nadia, she came. Okay. Nadia, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
The organizing committee is calling the drawing session. I request once again the organizing committee are requested to come to the stage.
Ma'am, this is only half of the department.
I would invite all the students of English and Psychology department to share this for the photo session. Yes.
Online participants எல்லாருக்கும் thank you சொல்லிட்டு vote of thanks முடிச்சிட்டு அப்புறம் thank you thank you
நீங்க சொல்றீங்க
thank you both online and offline participants for your valuable presence today.
Thank you all for your online and offline presentation, and I congratulate once again for your beautiful endeavors. And we hope we'll meet you on the next conference. Thank you all. And also, I request you all to be active like this in the tomorrow session also. Thank you so much, children.